Alright, after the over the rail, you're going to jump in, strap in as normal. Legs, lap, C-kit, shoulder harnesses, hoses, helmet. You're all strapped in mass checks. Turn on the battery switch after looking for the prop is clear. Normal, normal. Battery switch on. This is a display that will come up first. These two will remain dark. And you're going to go through your checks pretty much as you've been practicing. First things first is feet, knees clear. Obviously look left and right for your control surfaces for free and correct movement. And then you're going to look down to the fire switch, and that's going to be where you are used to. So this one in the sim is a little bit backwards, but you get the point. So fire 1 should see the top, and then fire 2 should see the bottom, and then get the good call out from the rear cockpit. Then you're going to test your lamps, and then move this position switch, and then look at your lamps pretty much like you are used to. The big thing here, though, the difference is the AOA and the audio test panel are going to be checked later on. You're going to continue your flow, making sure that everything is off and in, so circuit breakers, the flaps, the lights, the gear, emergency gear handle, and the flow is going to be very similar as far as the left-hand panel. Trim descent switch norm. Trim checks, I got 2 in the green, so again, you're going to make sure that your trim checks in all directions, and then you're going to leave, just like you're used to, the rudder trim out of trim, so that when your trim 8 switch comes on later on, it centers up. So very similar to what you're used to. After that, you're going to continue your flow. Realize obviously we don't have that GPS that you're going to turn on, so that's going to be one difference in this flow here. You're going to flow up to your upfront control panel, and you're going to see the switches on the bottom are on the checklist. What you're going to look for is uncage. You're going to be in norm, and you should be in day or auto here. The rest of these knobs you'll get to later on. You'll notice also, though, you can adjust the brightness on the HUD. And I don't know if it's going to get to that in the sim, but this is how you do that. So go ahead, if you're not seeing anything in your HUD, go full bright on here, and that's going to be something that you're going to check as well. Audio panel is going to be a little bit different than you're used to, but the concepts are still the same. So COM 1, COM 2, you got your nav knob. Vox is the new thing here. So if you turn this all the way to the right, you basically have to talk louder for the mic in your mask to pick you up. If it's all the way to the left, you're going to hear every little thing. So I like to be 12 o'clock to slightly maybe 11 o'clock or so, and then adjust as needed. The interphone is going to be between you and the rear cockpit, and then pretty much this is your master volume here. Let's go to voice on this switch so that you're picking up not your nav ID but the ATIS when you pull out the nav knob. Buttons that are in are not going to be activated, so basically you're not listening to them. If they're out, if they're pulled out, then you're going to be able to listen to them. Obviously coming up here, you don't have your standby compass or your standby flight instruments down here to be caged and locked, so that's going to be a big difference for you there. And then you don't have a slaved AHRS in your task switches here. That's going to be kind of the last little bit of what's different as far as the A model and what you are going to check in your cockpit pre-flight check. The rest of it's going to be all pretty much the same. You're going to move down here and make sure that all these switches are off. Blower no bogs off, right? And then here's your standby that we checked in the over the rail, and that should be off as well. And then give one last look at your circuit breakers. So altogether, that check is going to sound like this. I'm all strapped in, legs up, C-kit, shoulder harnesses, hoses, helmet, and my mask checks. And feet, knees clear. It'll say clear. Go ahead, check your controls as normal. Move down to fire 1, fire 2. My lamps check. Trim descent switch norm. Trim checks 2 in the green. My gen switch is off. And then go ahead and obviously pull the chocks after you check that. Visor down, rail clear. It'll say visor down, rail clear.